Hey everyone, we're back with another What's Sold. This is going to be part two, a continuation of What's Sold, but the formatting will be different. I mentioned to you guys, usually I have all the items kind of out in front and we kind of go over and talk about them. You guys get to see them, and I pop the screenshots on the screen. Unfortunately, silly me deleted a bunch of footage for about 3 weeks, so you're going to see this over the next couple weeks of videos. I know for some of you really like seeing the item because you want to see the screenshot of how I listed it, but you also want to see the physical item, and maybe I can point something out, or you can see it in hand, see how big it is, things like that. So I do know that that's helpful for a lot of people, and we will get back to that, but just bear with me on these videos. If you are new and joining us, I am a part-time seller on eBay, have a full-time job, do this on the side to make some extra money to pay for things for my family, for things that we want. We're actually saving for a house. That's one of the things we use this for, but it also covers those fun kind of extra expenditures that we go out there and try to do. That way it doesn't come out of the main account with what the main paycheck is. So reselling is a nice way to do that. Plus, I find it to be one of the most fun ways to make money. I love the treasure hunt of garage sales, thrift stores, or whatever. A lot of my friends know that I have a case of FOMO, a fear of missing out. Just I love being out there and buying stuff, and then this is the dividends of that. So we're gonna get into what's sold. You'll see the screenshots hopefully on here somewhere, and I might be looking down because I have to look on my computer to see what they are. So just bear with me, but hopefully the information will still be good. So first off, you'll see a 18-piece Thomas Blue Trackmaster track set. I had got a bunch of this when I was at Storage Unit Guy. He's one of the main guys I buy from. I just threw all this track in there with some trains. I actually sold a couple of the trains for like 12 and 15 bucks. Lotted all this track together. It sold for 18. I think it cost 8 bucks to ship at FedEx. So we made a few bucks, not a whole lot. But if you can get a bunch of Thomas train track or just the trains, look the trains up. They're valuable. Some of them are. And some of them can go for 25 or 30 bucks for a used train. Others might not be so valuable. Just lock them together and sell them that way. The next thing is a set of 9 Maxell VHSC tapes. They're brand new seal. These were a retail arbitrage buy, I guess, at a discount store we have. They buy pallets from CVS, places like that. I ended up picking all these up for $3 each plus tax. Sold them for $35 shipped. They go in a padded flat rate. I ended up with like 4 sets of these, I think. Plus I bought 2 extra where I didn't have a full set of the 3 packs. And they've all sold. So it was a really great buy. I wish they would have had more, but they're all out. Here's Catwoman for Xbox. Just kind of a generic game. Sold for $7 shipped. Goes in a padded bubble mailer. I don't usually list things below $8, but occasionally I take pictures of an item and then I go to kind of comp it out and I'm like, oh, it's not worth as much as I thought. I'll just go ahead and list it though. I mean, you could still make money. You make 2 or 3 bucks on a game like this, and if it's worth it for you, it might be super easy to ship though. And I took 1 picture. Just this 1 picture is all I took, and then sent it out that way. Next, we have a Seagate hard drive. This sold overnight. It's 500 gig external hard drive, which isn't a whole lot. A while ago that was a ton of space, but now that's considered kind of on the smaller end. But sold it for 29 shipped. It came in a big thing from Storage Unit Guy. Just threw it in my pile. It did not have a power cord. I have a bunch of random power cords that I get. Found one that had the right voltage and everything and matched up, and it powered it up, tested it out, it works. I cleared it so it was empty, and then it sold for 29 shipped. I think I shipped it in a padded flat rate. This is a Shure little adapter. This is from the same buy. I just got that hard drive. It was just one power cord I saw on the ground. I looked at it, saw the name Shure. It's a really high-end, or at least pretty high-end, like microphones and stuff like that. So ended up looking it up. I just threw it in my pile, got home, looked it up, listed mine for 24, and it sold within like 2 days. Goes first class. I put it in like a 6x4x4 box. Next is Nintendo. This is an easy one, guys. Just a DS game. Sells for 10 shipped. I just throw it in the bubble mailer and send it on its way. This is a Toyota repair manual here. 2000 Toyota Camry. I bought a bunch of these Toyota manuals. These are not from the $500 manual buy. These are from a different buy. These ones were, I think I got 7 or 8 of them for 70 bucks. Something like that. There were a couple that I sold for like 50 each, so they already paid for everything. This is probably the lowest one that sold. I got 30 bucks for that. So even 10 into 30, which is roughly what it was, is not great, but it goes medium mail. Costs, $4 to ship it. We'll still make good money, but then the better profit was on the ones that sold for that like 50, 55 mark. But I love selling manuals, especially if they're the official ones. Here is a Yogg Monster from Space VHS. Anytime you find horror, sci-fi VHS, you've never seen them before, look kind of weird, might be worth looking up. This one I got in a big bucket of VHS. I think I paid 20 bucks for it from one of my sources. I always call him Josh. And his stuff is super good because it's just one bulk price for a bunch of stuff, and I love that. I love buying in bulk when you can get a bulk price deal. This was a VHS I saw in there, and I got some DVDs, and I've sold some of those, Little House on the Prairie and different DVD sets, but that one sold for $25 shipped. Took about 2 weeks, just goes media mail. These are some Motorola talkabouts. They're really good radios if they work. Unfortunately, this set did not work though. I powered them up. 2 of them would turn on, but then they would turn right back off. One would do nothing. So I listed them so they don't work. They have issues. They're not going to power on for you to be able to use them. Sold them for parts for $19 shipped. That's just a way to recoup some costs. I think I had about $5 in them when I bought them. It was just a way for me to recoup some of that money back. And I actually made a little bit of profit. I think they went in a padded flat rate. Here is an item that I'm going to show. I sold it for $35 shipped. This one was returned though. I sold it for parts. It does actually work, but some of the buttons on the front do not work. The person bought it and she said her husband didn't want it or was the wrong model. She ordered the wrong one. She returned it. I relisted it. It's just the way it goes. Returns suck. I watched a Profit Monsters video about one of his returns and I felt so bad because I've had those days too where you get a bunch of returns and it just kind of like really just gets you down. But the reality is you got to move on and keep going because they're going to happen in this business and it's just the way it goes. And if that ruins your day and you know derails you from being productive, then that's not a good thing. Here's a power supply. This is a Cisco. It goes to an IP phone. Again, if I find power cords, I can get them for $1 or I throw them in my pile, make a bulk deal. I happen to see Cisco. It's a pretty good brand. Looked it up. Sells well. This one sold for $18 shipped. And again, I think it went in a padded flat rate. So, sorry, I got to offer something on eBay on my phone. Here is a really cool one. This is a Giants Rawlings baseball jersey. This is a vintage one. Paid $25 for this at a garage sale on a late day Friday sale. I was doing something for work. And then it was my lunch break, so as I'm coming home for lunch, I happened to see a garage sale, and of course, me, FOMO, you know, I got to stop there and look, so I looked. I ended up getting a camera. I paid $35 for everything. I sold the camera for, I think, 50 or 60, and then this finally sold for 90 shipped. Giant stuff can do really well, especially the old Rawlings. The only real thing that hurt this one, it was a size 40. I wish it would have been a little bit bigger, probably would have sold even quicker. Here's a kind of a polo Ralph Lauren. This is a big pony, but it's a 4XB polo shirt. Got this from, I think, a Goodwill for $5. Got it because it was the big pony and it was also 4XB. Had a little bit of fading, kind of that like right around the collar area and kind of on the shoulders. It kind of gets that like wash wear. But honestly, that's not really a problem. For some people, don't mind that look. It kind of gives it some age. This one I took a best offer at 30 shipped. It went in a padded flat rate, so a good deal there. Let's keep going. We got Daniel G. Amen. This is a brain solution. This was actually from a Goodwill buy. I did a video about this a while back, right when the quarantine first started. I made a bunch of purchases on Shop Goodwill. This is one that I paid about 21 or 22 bucks for, I think. Maybe a little bit more. This whole set ended up selling for 85 shipped. It took a little while. It took like maybe almost 2 months or a month and a half or whatever it was, but still made good profit. It even came in a box that I used to ship it. I think it cost us like 10 bucks to ship it all out. Here is a Crash Bandicoot PS1 lot. I paid, I think, about 40 bucks for this, or 45 maybe at a garage sale. The guy, I went to a sale, bought a bunch of cheap stuff. I asked if he had video games. He said he did. He took my phone number. He was going to call me back. He didn't have time to look him. He was an older guy. Was surprised he even said video games, and they said he were his personal ones. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe he's got like old Nintendos or something. But he came out with he called me back later that day and said, hey, I got all my stuff. Come over. I came, he had a PS2, and he had a bunch of PS1 games and a couple of PS2 games. And he knew these were worth money. He wanted like, I think 50 bucks for the PS2 with no games, and then he had a couple of PS2 games he was selling, but he sold me these, I think, for 40, maybe even 50 bucks for all these. I had to pick them up. I'm a sucker for video games. I love the Crash series. It's the 5 games here. These ended up selling after probably over a year. They finally sold for 120 shipped. I listed them high because I really didn't want to get rid of them. I kind of liked having them. I think I'm at 150. Someone finally made a best offer of 120, and it's theirs to keep. Cramp CD, this is from the Rock and Roll buy. This sold for 10 shipped, so nothing really crazy there. Got a Disney Parks Mike Wazowski from a big buy that I had. I don't probably had much into it, but it ended up selling for 15 shipped. It went first class, sold on a best offer. I also got a couple of Nightmare Before Christmas ones. Scrabble official score sheets, kind of something simple, guys. These just go in a bubble mailer. They were brand new sealed, sold them for 12 shipped. Just really easy to list, easy to ship, and obviously people are playing Scrabble, they're going to need the sheets. Here's some more of those Maxell tapes. Don't want to discuss them again, but this other lot sold for 35 shipped, goes in a padded flat rate. This one actually was a great deal, Father Ted. I ended up paying, I think, $2 or $3 for this at a garage sale. It was brand new sealed, no issue with it at all. Sold it for 40 shipped. It's a really kind of hard one to find. The lady got it. She said that she could hear something loose, which I don't know if there was like an insert inside or that she thought it was a CD, but I doubt it was. From when I listed it, I didn't hear anything unless it got jolted around in shipping or whatever. She opened up a return. She had like 30 days or whatever to return it, never returned it, and then eBay closed the case and gave me my money, so there was no issue. So that was good. Father Ted, sold for 40 ship, might be a DVD worth looking out for. Here is a PS3. This is the one you want to find. This is the original, the fat one, the CECHA01. This one sold for a 01 actually. This one sold for 200 shipped. It sold in about 4 or 5 days, so not too long. This one I think is the backwards compatible one, which makes it most valuable. The guy got it and he said there was a slight issue where it powered down every once in a while, but he's a video game repair guy, I guess. He said he would fix it, no returns needed, and that was cool. So 200 shipped on that. A KitchenAid, kind of a bad picture. You can tell by the white bottom here, this is definitely an older picture. This one sold for 25 bucks. It is just a housing unit for the food processor. I part out the food processors, I part out the bread makers, I part out all those kind of things. Unless they're worth selling on their own, you can part them out and make money. It ends up shipping first class too, so 25 shipped on that's not bad. Some Sim PC games. These were all disc only. There's 6 of them. I got these in a big lot of video games. For whatever reason, they had a couple of PC games in there. I listed them and they sold after probably a year for 15 bucks. Some of the old Sim games, if you have the big box ones or something in the box and everything, they can sell. So it might be worth it, but it took a while for these. Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS3, disc only, sold for 12 shipped. This game pretty much sells on any platform, it seems. It was the newest Grand Theft Auto, so you can make some money there, disc only. I end up shipping mine in an actual PS3 case. I have a bunch of empty ones that I've gotten over the years, and I'll just ship them out in one of those. That way it has some protection, but 12 shipped there. Avatar: The Last Airbender, another PS2 game. This one sold for 9 shipped. Again, just one picture, goes out first class. We make 3 or 4 bucks. I'm cool with that. Here's Pink Flamingos. This is a VHS from the Rock and Roll Buy. I never heard of it before, so I scanned it. It popped up with a bunch of comps. I found that $29.99 I felt was one that might sell pretty quickly, but still make some good money. And I think it sold within about a month or two. So for a VHS, I'm okay with that. And 30 bucks on an old tape, definitely good. This is an awesome one. This is a reel-to-reel, guys. I have become a huge fan of selling reel-to-reels. They sell for really good money if you can find the right one. Some of them are kind of the generic $8, $10, $12, $15 ones, which is fine on some level. You can lob them together, whatever. But there are these rare ones that can go for 40, 50, 60, 100 bucks to find the right one. This one I got from the same person I got all the rock and roll stuff from. I also bought a stack of reel-to-reels and some DVDs. I think I paid 10 or 15 bucks for them all. This one was in there and I took a best offer of 80 shipped on it. So an awesome deal. Look out for reel-to-reels. I got a bunch of these Motorola walkie-talkie charging stations. I actually got them with those yellow Motorola's that I sold. I paid $5 for all of them. Actually, all was together in one buy. But they had like 4 charging stations, which all seemed to work. It was the units that didn't work. So that same $5 that bought those, I ended up selling my first charging station for 18 shipped, and I got 3 or 4 more left. So that'll be good money there. This is a CD from the Rock and Roll Buy, Joe Meek, A Hero New World. That sold for 12 shipped. I got 3 of these intelligent alarms. I got them with that PS3 that I got from Storage Unit Guy. One person bought 2 of them for 60 bucks, and then someone bought the other one for the $29.99 or whatever it was. They were brand new sealed. The packing a little bit worked on them, but overall, I'm happy with that. Plus, person bought 2, so saved on shipping. Far Cry Instincts, another just random game that sold for 8 shipped. I'm happy about that. Just that one picture. These were cool. These were Melaleuca white opal bars. My father-in-law found these at the Storage Unit Guy sale, which he's a guy we go to usually on Sundays. My father-in-law likes to go along with me, look for stuff for himself, but also he finds a lot of cool stuff for me. I didn't even know what Melaleuca was. I guess there's all these kind of soap bars and stuff. He saw these, and we had some gold ones as well and a couple other ones. He threw them into a bucket and said, "What do you think? These used to be valuable." I looked them up, and I was like, actually, the gold bars seem to sell. Just throw them in the pile. We got them, and these 9 sold for 80 shipped. So shout out to my father-in-law. This sale's because of him, so I definitely owe him lunch for some of these buys that he's helped me with. Here is the Roots cassette, $10 shipped. This is one, guys, that is from the big hip-hop cassette buy. We've made so much money on it. Shouldn't say so much, but so much ROI versus the $20 that we spent. We probably have sold $600 or $700 worth of cassettes, which is awesome. We still have more to go. A lot of those are kind of the lower end ones. So I don't know if we're going to make a ton more money on it in the long run, but for our $20 investment, it was a really great buy. So definitely a good ROI on that. I mean, we're not going to get rich, which is okay, but definitely some good money, and I'm happy. I love selling cassettes because, again, it's 1 or 2 pictures, probably 2 pictures on this. I put it in a bubble wrap, throw it in a little 6x4x4. It goes out in the mail, not much effort there. Here's a JBL speaker. Got this for $2 at a garage sale. It needed a cord. Got a charging cable with it. Sold for $25. I was actually drop shipped on that as well. Here's an electrical meter. This just was something I got in a estate sale, I think, for like $1 or $2. I got a bunch of stuff, and they were just trying to get rid of it all, and that sold for $23 shipped. It was heavier though, so I think it cost about $8 or $9 to ship it, but definitely worth selling, making a few bucks, and it sold within like 3 days, which I was surprised. Age of Empires, just a generic DS game, sold for $9 shipped. It actually had some wear on it. These are cool. These are the Tech Deck handboards. These are the bigger ones. It's 10.5 inches. If you find them, they do well. I've sold 2 so far. I think I sold 1 for $55, and then this one is a Tony Hawk one. I sold this one for $50. This one also took forever to get to the buyer. He complained because it was supposed to arrive on a certain day. It was like 4 days past that. It hadn't arrived. It actually went to like Michigan or something. It was supposed to go to Maryland. I did a trace in the package. All of a sudden it started moving, and it got to him, and he left me good feedback, and it was all good. So sometimes you just got to work with the buyer and do a trace through the postal service and hope it shows up. But I was happy to get the $50 on this. I paid $3 for this at a garage sale. Grand Theft Auto 4, not as great as selling as Grand Theft Auto 5, but it did sell for $9 shipped. Here's a Cuisinart replacement part. This is just a little lid to the DLC-8. That one sold for $20 shipped. Again, I just part these guys out. Some more Maxell tapes. Those sold for $35 shipped, so that's pretty good. That's 3 sets already selling in a short period of time. And it looks like that's it, guys. I think we got to the end there. That should have been everything, at least for the weekend part. Again, in the next videos, you guys are going to see more of the screenshots on the screen. I'm going to try to still move quickly. I know we're at 16 or 17 minutes here, so there's some stuff I want to talk about and some stuff we'll try to fly through, but just bear with me. I hope there's something you guys got out of there. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you and your family stay safe. Take care.